I guess Scott's not going to be here after all. I wasn't going to be here either. But here I am. On his channel. Diablo again tonight, but I guess I'm gonna do the dump instead. I also have another stream to do after this. Really need to get back to my videos.
Reigning is the Mad King, comes with no ease. Burden of greatness is hard on these knees. Lameness is your particular disease. Touching with jokes, that's my sacred degree. Bloods and Crips got nothing on me. Always dig in, dig out for eternity. That's my war cry, it's on my Bradley. Knocking out movies like I'm fucking Jet Li. You best believe satisfaction's not guaranteed. Mama Susan treats me like I'm a refugee, but I know how to use her. The YouTuber's YouTuber. Fighting on back roads and back rooms. I be saving the future.
That's right. It's the YouTuber's YouTuber. And with friends. Hey, Slender.
Hi.
How are you enjoying Diablo? I noticed that you played it earlier, even though I asked, hey, do you want to play? And then nobody wanted to play with me, but hey.
I didn't even see you, man. I was doing one of those, what is it, the Hell Tides or whatever.
Oh, yeah. I needed to do one of those today, too, but I didn't get a chance because I was by myself. And Tina, Bad Take Bojan.
Hello, like the wooden nickel you can't get rid of. I'm back.
What?
Never mind, you're too young to understand what a wooden nickel is.
A wooden nickel?
It's okay.
You're not gonna expound
okay,
upon.
so you know, like in a pop or candy machine where you put it's like a slug, putting a slug in a machine to get something
How
free.
would you? But it's all
nickel.
slimy and stuff. Why would you put a slug into a machine?
A slug is another name for a fake coin. Come on, don't tell me you're that young. You don't even know that.
No, I don't know what I mean, I know what a slug is, but I don't know what a coin slug is.
Seriously.
Seriously,
like, and yeah, you put a hole in it, and then you run fishing wires. This way you can put it inside a machine, and then you get it to give you your thing, and then you're able to pull it back out.
So Chicago's always been a wasteland.
Illegal.
Oh, of course it's illegal. It's like practically stealing.
Not practically.
No, I'm pretty sure that's definitively, in fact.
That was back when you could get a 12-ounce bottle of Coke in a glass bottle, using in this case it was a slug quarter, and get your money back.
Oh, okay. Well, man, I don't know if I would do that in Chicago with the mob there, because they like cash businesses like vending machines.
Hey, I worked for a mob-affiliated bank back in the late 80s, early 1990s. So yeah, we should talk about that one day.
Why not now? I don't have anything planned. A mob-affiliated bank?
Yep. It was it was a little old at the time. It only had 2 offices, local bank, and we were in a suburb of Chicago, which is right next to a very mob-affiliated suburb of Chicago. And I worked in the commercial loan department. And one day, one of the people from across, from the other branch came over and said, "Oh, look, we just picked up the new paperback edition of Who's Who in the Chicago Mob." And we could literally go through and find all of our customers in there.
So what happens if you deny one of them a commercial loan?
You don't.
Like
they would get loans without actually filling out the application. Like seriously, you'd open up their file and there's a signed blank commercial loan application that later on us girls in quotes would have to type up all the application, how much money he wanted, and when it was going to be approved and all that other baloney. And oh yeah,
Yeah,
We
hey
had
Kai, hey Sherry, hey One Man Show, Doe Buffett. Oh, I get that. Yeah, Keely, always here.
So every
Uh,
Christmas, the guys would come in, and we each of the girls would get a bottle of Dom and little chocolates and stuff from all the rich guys. They'd come in and visit with the bank vice president, and they'd literally like drop a pile of bills off on your desk, and you got to pay their bills all morning. Well, he
hey
had
Tina, hey
coffee and
Tina,
cognac.
hey Tina. Tony came in the other day. He said that you didn't want to do the paperwork for him. What? Did you like to
Oh,
sleep with fish?
we got no Tonys. We got Angelos, and we got
Angelos.
Nikos, and we exactly Enzos and Roccos. Forget the Tonys. That's
I
nothing.
think I was thinking more New Jersey than Chicago.
So Tina,
But,
you're gonna take care of this for me, right?
as
That's my
always,
girl.
Ah, the
Remind me
cops
to
are
send
never
you
gonna
something
figure it
nice
out.
come Christmas.
yeah, I can't tell you how many times I've been given cash to go across the street to the bakery to pick up something for the boys and get something nice for myself.
That's insane. But all right, cool. You have any connections still?
No, actually, the bank has been bought out a couple of times, and I don't live in the neighborhood anymore. So I'm sure some of the families are still there, but
No, I would have kept connections. You know what I mean? Who knows when you may
I,
need a
I did
mobster.
actually, I did actually use my connection once. Uh, uh, 5 years later, when we were
You might
planning
make
my
yourself legally liable if you discuss this on a podcast, so don't
oh,
tell us who you had killed.
okay, I didn't. Okay, I won't tell you that part, but I'll tell you the other part. When we were looking for a place to host the wedding, there was the local reception. Wedding hall was run by one of the commercial loan clients. So I popped in, and there was, two Bianca Lanas, and I ran into Joe in the way. He was one of the owners, and he says, "Oh my gosh, Tina from Midwest." Oh,
Yeah,
probably
that's
shouldn't have
how he
told you the name of the
sounds.
bank. And said, "How you doing, kiddo?" And blah, back and forth, back and forth. Told him all about the wedding, what I was planning. He walked up to the girl we were meeting with to make our arrangements. He wrote down, he did the whole thing just like you would see in a movie. He wrote down on a little notepad that he pulled out of his coat pocket and turned it upside down, slid it across the desk, and says whatever she wants, and this is what she'll pay per plate.
Wow.
So
Man, I gotta find mobsters. I don't have enough criminal friends. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Dude, you
oh,
don't
I
find
understand.
mobsters, they find you.
That's a good point. Yeah.
Very,
I
very
always
true.
had to swish handle my people. Oh. Huh. All right, so what are we talking about? Because I was not paying attention. I was not planning on being on, and I was like, "Oh, well, Scott's gonna be there, so that makes it
Hmm.
a lot easier for me to just do my thing." And
Well,
he's not here.
we have three topics we're supposed to cover, but just because it's in a thumbnail doesn't necessarily mean we need to talk about it. But
What are the three topics?
the submarine, the Kraven trailer, and the pilot, or the first episode of
Well,
Secret Invasion.
I guess we'll start with the submarine. Man, you just put a big price tag on anything, and white people are gonna be like, "Ooh, I want to do that." You know what I mean? This just
I
for
mean, as long as they're not buying it from white people, apparently, because I
yeah.
guess that was the problem, right?
Yeah. The dude was like, he was like, yeah, we need more diversity in deep sea sub diving. I don't know, something like that. I was like,
Yeah,
okay.
I believe, and I'm paraphrasing here a little, but he said something along the lines of, most of the people you hire in this industry, they're former Navy sub guys.
Yeah,
So
50-year-old
I
white
mean, it's
men.
all 50-year-old white dudes, and I'm like,
Yeah.
bet you wish you had one of them 50-year-old white dudes right now.
Or how about
Yeah.
a new series Xbox Series 2 controller instead of whatever janky
Logitech gamepad
Do not buy
controller.
the
third
Mad
party.
Cats brand, man. Do not buy the
Right?
Mad
Who the
Cats.
fuck is gonna go down 20,000 feet with a Mad Catz controller? Are you kidding me?
Dude, even the United States Army, classic for, buying from the lowest bidder, has
Absolutely.
PlayStation controllers in their Humvees.
They have what?
PlayStation controllers.
Oh yeah, we never had the controlled. Um,
Oh,
uh,
you never had the automated turret
yeah, no,
that
we
you
did
can
not.
control from the
Nope,
inside?
nope. We had to stand up there.
Oh.
almost got ripped out of the turret one time when
Oof.
Brandon was off doing this minesweeper course where they teach you to use a straw and
Oh, I
poke in
used to
the
play
sand.
Minesweeper.
Not that kind of. Anyway,
Oh, okay.
he would have to poke in the sand with a straw until he finds a landmine. Like, when are we ever gonna stop him? Like, all right, Brandon, get your straw out. There may be a landmine ahead of
No,
us.
Brandon, get your equipment.
Right.
He pulls
Anyway,
it out of the fucking McDonald's cup.
so while he was gone, I was gunning on the Humvee, and we had this mortar guy, this guy from the mortar people, come and drive for us. And we leave the fob, and the truck behind us called us up. We're like, "Hey, Red 8, a lot of smoke coming out from behind you." And I'm like, "Hey, you got the emergency brake on?" He goes, "Yeah, man. No, man, it's up." I was like, "Yeah, Roger, we figured it out. We got it. We took care of it." Anyway, so we're going through this Mahala, and there's all these generator lines that are hanging down, and it gets underneath my turret. And I say, "Stop, stop, stop." And he looks up at G90. He goes, "Go, go, go," and takes off. It almost, I mean, we ripped down all the wires to the generators, so we had to stop and throw some cast their way because we had that kind of a thing. And yeah, man. In fact, that same day they brought out a bowl of this. I guess it looked like chili, like Iraqi chili, and there was only one dude that was like, "I'll eat it." And we're like, "Bro, I don't know if you should be eating that." He's like, "Oh man, it's good, man. Trust me, I got a stomach of steel." We didn't see him for 4 days. We didn't see him for 4 days. He
Oh,
couldn't leave the
no.
toilet.
Oh no.
Oh, he almost had to be air vac'd out. We told him not to eat it. The only things you can eat there, unless you're at a very specific type of place, you can eat the bread because they can't fuck that up. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And that's it. That's all I ever eat.
I mean, if they do fuck the bread up, it's just gonna stop you up. It's
Yeah.
not gonna make you like stuck in the toilet. It's gonna make you wish you could go to the toilet.
Yeah.
So this might be a loaded question, but where do you get your protein from?
But we had food that we would eat.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they ship
I'm
it
talking
in.
about when we're
Gotcha.
outside the wire, and you're like, "Oh, I want to stop and get something to eat."
If
It's not
you're
the
in
best
Gen
idea.
Pop, you're probably eating goat or dog.
Yeah.
Because I went to Turkey once, and the first day we were in port, there were like stray dogs everywhere. And by day 3, we realized we weren't seeing any dogs anymore. But that mystery meat was tasty.
Alrighty.
But yeah, man. Yeah, the only time you would eat is if there had some big meeting you had to go sit on, like when the dude was like, "What the Jews? No, the Sunni," about genocide. Anyway, they would have lamb kebabs, and those were good. You could
Mhm.
trust those. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Because they were being made for important people. It was actually,
Yeah.
now that I think about it, they would be more risky because they're being made for important people. If somebody wanted to take out important people.
Potentially, yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, so the sub, yeah, it just goes to show you everything I've said about embracing my whiteness and not doing things to get white people killed. This is the exact kind of shit that I avoid doing. I'm not going 20,000 leagues under the sea with a dude that has a Mad Catz controller.
I mean, I didn't realize that it was my husband said he read, no, Mr. Bojan, we're not making fun of him. He actually read an article. And he said that the sub's technically not insured
Wow.
and that, you pretty much, signed a hold harmless document when you went down there. So, I mean, if you die, it's not like the, company's going to pay you off. So it's pretty sad.
What do you mean? Yeah, wait, Matt is white. Yeah, black adjacent, of course. Yeah, I don't know, man. I mean, I for one, I don't care if it's in air, like in the air, on the ground, or in the sea. If it looks like it was built by little rascals, I'm not gonna trust it.
Well, and that's kind of the thing. Like, I'm torn. There's like 33.3 repeating, of course, percent of me that is like, man, I feel really bad for them. I hope
Yeah.
they make it out okay.
Of course.
And then there's 33.3% of me that's like, you fucking woke idiots with your DEI agenda. Well, DIE in this case. And then And then there's the other 33% of me is like, you badmouth my buddies in the Navy. Fuck you. You get what you fucking deserve.
Well, the only one I sort of feel sorry for is the 19-year-old son of one of the 3 rich dudes that's down there. Because, I mean, although he may be rich, did he fully understand the fact that,
Yeah, and did
he's
he fully
probably
have a choice? Or was he just
exactly,
drug along?
exactly.
What's
But
crazy to me is the nephew or son going to Blink 182. And homeboy said, my family would want me to do this.
probably because they were going to write it off on their taxes.
Oh, well, I mean, they probably have life insurance too.
Yeah, but the no, and it's a bad situation too, because like from everything that I'm hearing, it sounds like it must be some kind of electrical failure. You lost comms, you don't have the
Yeah.
ship anymore. Like it's
Mhm.
sitting at the bottom with an electrical failure. The problem with that is if that is the case, the oxygen supply becomes a lot less reliable because every time
Mhm.
you exhale carbon dioxide, and carbon dioxide needs to be scrubbed or it starts to pool in the space. And
Right.
so, like, they could still have oxygen in the upper half, but if they fall asleep and their head's below that line, they're going to asphyxiate on carbon dioxide.
Mm-hmm.
And also, if the pumps aren't working properly, could they be getting too much oxygen, which could then have caused a fire?
Possible. I
Luckily,
don't
though,
know
they
how
have
possible
water
though.
nearby.
Oh, that's good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Like real
And they had
close.
and they had a potty on board, so at least they're okay there.
But the
Waiting
other scary thing about this, right, is
the
didn't they
Meg.
just launch an initiative similar to this in some airliner? Was like, we need more diversity, equity, and inclusion in our pilots, so we're going to start hiring less
Oh yeah, that's all of
experienced
them.
pilots.
Yeah, that's almost all of them. But yeah, just wait until the Meg breaks through that, that layer of whatever it is.
Dude, this is a tiny submarine. The Meg could like eat it.
Exactly.
They could be
Yeah.
in the belly of the whale right now.
Well, and I think they have to use 2 different things to bring it back up, and it's not as if they can transfer them over into another submarine. They have to hope that there's enough time to find them, hook them up, and get them to the surface before the oxygen runs out.
Yeah, I mean, it would be horrible to find out that, whatever, exploratory vehicle that unmanned that's down there, like, oh, yay, we found them. Oh, crap. We don't have enough time to send somebody down here and get them.
Right? Yeah, I don't know, man. That's rough, dude.
I feel
I
like they're screwed.
I think because drowning is one of my big. I do not want to drown. That seems horrifying to me.
Hmm.
But falling asleep because of a lack of oxygen seems okay.
You know what would be worse than drowning, though?
Yeah.
Being eaten alive by a giant squid.
Did somebody just scream yes?
Maybe. I have kids. They might be playing games.
Oh, or they're like yes, giant
Maybe-
octopus.
Maybe they're doing better at Diablo than we are. I don't know.
Where's the abducted by? Yeah, because I. Oh, being burned alive. I have a little familiarity with fire. Yeah, that's rough.
Was it though? Because you said you didn't even feel anything.
Well, oh no, I didn't until we loaded up and started heading to the cast to the hospital, whatever. That's when that adrenaline's gone and all you feel is so yeah, it was rough.
So I'm thinking it's more difficult to be burned and survive than it is as in more painful to be burned and survive than it is to die.
Yeah, because your adrenaline is going to keep you from really noticing that fire.
Yeah.
At least it did for me.
Yeah, I mean, I guess from a theoretical standpoint, surviving is always more painful than just dying.
Yeah, but not with drowning.
You don't. Well, I think it's all mental though, right? Like you'd have the same kind of adrenaline rush, I think.
Right. No, what I'm saying is, if you drown and somebody brings you up and then you spit up the water and you're done. You can
What's
go
that
back to swim.
What's that dry drowning or something?
What?
There's a concept that if you are drowning and if someone saves you and pumps the water out of your lungs, it's still possible that you could still die. But it's like called dry drowning or something like that, where the water is deep into your lungs, that it's not just doesn't get spit out. It's actually blocking the oxygen exchange.
Oh, that sounds horrible too.
And that's why you're supposed to go to the hospital after you recover someone who might have drowned, because just because they're walking around, they might not be.
Yeah, Soul Assassin gets me. Being burned wasn't so bad, but the fact that I joined for a free T-shirt and got burnt is what hurts. Yeah, because I never got the T-shirt. What's up, DJ? I had nothing to do with him. He's up. Man, yeah, dude. I mean, I hope everybody gets out of there okay. I think
I'm not holding my breath. I'm not holding my breath on that one.
Yeah, I'm not either. Just when I talk about things white people shouldn't do, this is one of those things. Don't get in the ocean. There's nothing there for us except for death and some old lady's necklace.
But there's
Right?
You think they were looking for the necklace?
You think
that's what they were trying to find?
Do you think they got convinced by the movie that necklace is there somewhere? We are gonna find it.
With inflation, that thing's worth like $40 million now.
Yeah. Oh man. All right. What was the next one that we had to talk about?
It was the the Kraven trailer. I haven't seen it, so I can't comment on that.
Have you seen it, Slender?
Haven't seen it.
Does he want us to watch it?
I don't know. I have to admit that I did not do a whole lot of prep for today.
He did link it in the chat, did he not?
Yeah, I guess maybe he does. What's it called? Kraven?
Yes.
I've seen it. I've seen it.
Oh, yeah, you're right. I found it if you want me to copy and paste it.
No. I'm gonna.
Oh, you got it? Okay.
I'm gonna download it real quick. Yeah. Okay. I'll say this. I think they may be going for a R rating with this.
Oh, that would be good.
It would be good. Mm-hmm. Oh wait, no, I can't do that one because
that would help us help with the logic of being able to get some R-rated episodes of Daredevil.
Well, again, and I know Tom has a problem whenever I say this, but this is a Sony Marvel movie.
Very true.
It even says in association with Marvel, not Marvel be doing this shit. I hate when they do this.
What'd they do?
The trailer before the trailer?
Predators.
Oh.
So it kind of gets me going. I'm like, oh, okay. I like Kick-Ass, right? I liked him a lot in Oliver Stone Savages. I liked him as Quicksilver. I thought he was good. I wish they wouldn't have had him just so that they could kill him, But you did not see that coming? I thought he was really good. Anybody else?
I liked him as Quicksilver. I had no issues. I liked him as Quicksilver more than I liked what's her face originally as
Scarlet Witch.
Yes, thank you. I've got stream Brian. Sorry.
Yeah.
I am neutral. I did not dislike him, nor did I like him. I just didn't care.
Yeah, I think that was their point, so that they could say they killed somebody finally, but that it's not somebody you care about.
Yep.
But I do like seeing Gladiator. I went blank on his name. Hey, little Jet.
Russell Crowe?
Yo.
Yeah, Russell Crowe.
Oh, are we talking about Kraven?
Yeah.
You mean Russell Crowe's in the I'm gonna cash every check I get phase of his career? So.
That's cool with me, man.
I mean,
yeah, he was really good in Bullet Train too, Sherry.
Is dead.
Not sure about these accents. Some of them are trying to pull off.
Sick in her mind.
I
What
am
accent is
Russian,
that?
Angry Russian man.
Who live
You're not
in
my business.
Africa.
Yes.
See, look at this blood. Like,
It's about strength.
Are we doing the Red Band trailer?
is this the?
There's a red band and a regular. So.
I don't know what. I just downloaded the first one.
Oh, the red band trailer is the one that Scott shared.
Oh, okay. I didn't click on it.
Dude, I was gonna say you're gonna lose that fight.
Right? So
He does, but he gains magic lion powers.
Oh,
yeah.
magic
In the-
lion powers.
It's
could
coming
say
up.
in
They're
the
gonna
year-
show a thing.
He is weak, like his
I
mother.
don't know why the lion left him to live.
What happened that day?
Watch. He got lion blood that made him magic
So-
lion man.
Was he a radioactive lion?
It's gonna be. I don't know.
He was one
Kraven-
of those lions that they genetically modified in a lab.
But it's stupid. Kraven was never superpowered. That was the whole point. He was a master hunter. That's how he did.
Yeah. More
He
like
looked like a
Michael
master
Douglas.
there.
More like Michael Douglas in The Ghost in the Darkness.
Oh, that's a great movie.
I love that movie.
Ghost in the Darkness was good.
He has a really great line when they're talking, and Val Kilmer is like, it must be great doing what you love, and he's like, no, I hate it. Do you know what it's like? The only thing you're good at is the one thing that you hate. Yeah, he hates having to kill animals and lions, but it's the only skill that he has. It's the only thing that he's good at. Yeah, that really hit me. I really enjoyed his portrayal in that movie. I thought The Ghost in the Darkness is underrated. Still holds up to this day.
Well, that's also because they were still doing practical effects back
Yep.
then, so they were just mixing. It was just enough CG to like fill in the gaps they couldn't do with practical, which is the best way to do it. That's why all that stuff still looks like the '90s high-end movies look the best now. like Jurassic Park, for the most part, still looks really good.
Yeah.
According to Wikipedia, Kraven consumes a mystical serum to give himself enhanced strength and dramatically slow the aging process.
Oh, he went to Wakanda.
You know, a couple years ago, that's what the rumor was they were gonna do. A Kraven versus Black Panther for like the Black Panther movie.
Yeah, but now it's a woman.
Yeah.
Now the suits fits. Now the suit's perfect.
I stared death in the face.
Now all Kraven has to do to defeat Black
For the
Panther is be
first
like, that
time,
outfit makes your
I
hips
saw
look
my
fat.
true self. Tell me about this hunter.
They say he uses a connection with animals to track his.
So he's also Beastmaster. He can talk to animals.
That
He's a
movie is
land-
great.
Yeah.
So instead of Aquaman, he's Landa Man.
Oh, wow. Boring.
And once you're on his list, there's only one way off.
Then you can see through the eyes of an eagle.
There's 6 of you now.
Once you're
He
on
doesn't
his
even
list,
look the same.
once you're on his list, there's only one way off. Yeah, take me off the list, please.
Did you see him
What?
bite off that dude's nose, Slender?
Yeah.
No, I wasn't paying attention.
Oh, I think One Man Show's got a great, great
Ew,
line.
gross.
Is he Charlie Sheen on Lion Blood instead of Tiger Blood?
Why, Slender?
That wouldn't kill somebody. Like,
Well, no.
why is he not fighting back?
To the world.
Because he just got his nose fucking bit off. What are you talking about?
I mean, if somebody bit my nose off, I'd want to kill them immediately.
God,
Yeah, this is a Red Band trailer.
I can't believe they're like, yeah, fuck it. If Marvel doesn't want to do a rated R movie, we sure as shit will.
Well, hopefully this
kidding.
movie didn't cost more than $60 million, because what it looks like is they looked at Blade, the first one,
Yeah.
and realized if you made a nice hardcore R-rated movie like that, you can make money on doing that.
Can somebody give them the Punisher?
Well, Punisher Warzone went hard R, but it still was not great.
The budget is 130 million.
Holy shit.
130 million. That seems like a lot.
There's no way they should be
Isn't that what he
spending
taught us?
more than... Like, the first John Wick was $40 million in budget. That's exactly what they should be spending on Kraven.
Yeah, but they have to have that
Oh.
lion.
Go back. I just saw where 30 million of it was spent on their CG spiders.
Oh, yeah, I saw those.
Are they going to do like an Indiana Jones thing where he's scared of spiders? And so
Every
he's
one of those
phobia?
spiders is worth $2 million.
Mr. Taglin? Mr. Taglin? Where's Mr. Taglin?
Oh, you're standing in him.
Why doesn't he have an accent?
Because they left him in Africa to die.
Oh, okay, because Africans don't have accents. That's right.
I mean, have you heard Elon Musk? He sounds pretty normal.
The fuck he does.
I know.
He needs to sound like Leonardo DiCaprio from Blood Diamond. In the U.S. it's bling bling, but out here it's bling bling.
Our Sharto Copley in every movie he does.
What?
The guy from District 9, he was in the A-Team.
Oh yeah, he was in another Lion movie.
He was in Hardcore Henry.
He was in what was that Lion movie with Idris Elba? Beast? I like that movie. I thought that movie was good.
You're the 14th person who must have seen it.
Wow.
It did not make any money. No. Did you see it legally, Matt?
Yeah, of course. I never watch anything illegally. I'm a big believer in watching it because it doesn't. When people think of oh well, we're just taking it from the studio or these high paid actors, but what they don't realize is that money actually goes to far more than just the high, the very top of the pay. You know what I mean?
Dude, I got overheads, man. Those tiny sausages on the toothpicks that I put on the craft service table.
Exactly.
They cost fucking money.
Yep. You're taking money from the sausage guy.
Animal in each one of us.
Don't you want to know why they call me the Rhino?
Can we stop idolizing DiCaprio? All I said was he should have an accent like DiCaprio did in Blood Diamond. I don't think that was idolizing.
DiCaprio is living the life.
One of the most overrated actors in Hollywood.
Let's be honest. DiCaprio's life right now is like he had Tina with him pointing out the 20-year-old girls constantly, and he just gets to date them instead of just looking at them. So
date them. Yeah, I'm sure that's what he did.
Oh, well, I'm being YouTube friendly since we're on Scott's monetized channel.
Well, then he should have been here to regulate.
He gets to engage in casual coitus with them. How about that?
Yeah, that's one. Yeah, he believe he hits it and quits it would be the parlance of our era.
I mean, I'm not mad at him. Do your thing, bro. You know what I mean?
He's got a Logan's Run meter. When the girls hit 22, there's like a little light on their palm that goes off, and he says you got to go.
Yes, you are taking something from him because then they don't have money for Sausage Guy when the next movie
time,
rolls around.
Exactly, it does affect.
And they're like, you know what? We're not going to pay Sausage Guy. I know, I love those little toothpicks he uses, but
Matt,
we'll hire Hot Dog Guy next time. He's cheap.
Does that mean it's okay to pirate Pixar movies since they don't have craft services or any of that stuff?
They've still got somebody making coffee in the lounge.
I'm sure they eat. They have to have some kind of food option while they're doing their voiceovers and shit, right? And don't forget all the special effects artists on there are getting paid garbage. Look at what Disney does to their special effects people.
Well,
I don't. Hey, it's just me. I'm not telling everybody no, you shouldn't. Sail the high seas. Do you? It's just not me. You know what I mean? I just wouldn't feel good doing it.
Yeah, we in the military have this thing called integrity. We don't do that shit.
I say this, but yeah. I mean, I hated every time I went to the hobby shop and got all those bootleg DVDs, but there was no other options for us at that point.
That person was a businessman. I didn't know he pirated those movies. He told me they were legit.
I'm going to be honest, when we were stationed in Japan in the 80s, man, we bought, we had a Betamax and a VCR, and the reason we had it is so that we could record every movie that we rented. So military people have a proud history of taking advantage.
Yeah, I thought it was a trade-off. We're here in Iraq. The least we could do is buy some bootleg DVDs.
See, that was kind of like when I was a security guard in college. They gave me the keys to the university, which means I could take whatever cookies and ice cream I wanted from the freezer. So
Tina, you were a security guard?
Yeah.
Did they give you any kind of training to stop someone from like doing something?
We had about 45 minutes to an hour's worth of training on how to use your D-cell mag light to, knock somebody out. And
Wow.
we got to take our mace out of its, holster and actually spray it at something, but that shit costs money, so we couldn't spray it for too long. And
Did
then
you ever get sprayed?
actually, at the end of a very, very particularly long shift overnight, it was 12:30 to 6:30, I think. My allergies were driving me crazy all day long, and I'm sitting in roll call at 6 a.m. going, gee, I don't know what the hell's been wrong with me all day. Blah 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 blah. I get up from the chair I'm sitting on, and the entire back of the chair is soaking wet. My mace had been leaking the entire shift.
So you never had to get like sprayed directly in the face.
Oh no,
and go through
never.
A training course.
But
No,
even
no.
that though, that just shows me that was some weak shit because the spray that we had, you couldn't be in the room with it.
No,
Well,
if your OC was leaking, your ass would feel like it caught fire.
And that makes perfect sense, but I think one of the reasons why is the fact that when we looked at the can, it had expired 15 years prior
Of course it did.
Yeah, that sounds about right. Did they at least teach you how to implement mechanical advantage control holds?
Huh?
Okay. No.
So my shift supervisor, we were bullshitting in the parking lot one night, and he had his hand resting on his OC canister, right? And it went off, and it was on his hands or whatever. So he went, washed his hands. Later on that night, I'm quote unquote running radar. I'm watching Netflix. Anyway, I see him flying by, code 3, light, siren, everything. I'm like, oh shit. I got on a talk around channel. I was like, dude, did I miss a fucking call? Like, no, everything's fine. He went to go take a piss, and he got it on his dick because he didn't wash his hands good enough. So he was having to rush back to the station to get in the shower.
But you understood where he was coming from.
Yeah, I've been sprayed.
That's what happens after you get sprayed. It's funny because you'll go take a shower like the next day or later that night, and you gotta lean forward.
Yeah.
Because that shit's still on your face, and if you're not leaning forward, it's gonna start to migrate.
Yeah, you gotta make sure you have your underwear on that first time you take a shower. Whenever we sprayed anybody, we had the paramedics came out, and they would have the nose thing, the plastic thing you put in your nostrils, and they'd hook it up to an IV so it would flush out their eyes, and you'd always tell them, bro, you need to lean your head back, and they wouldn't do it. They wouldn't ever listen. Like, you all right? And then later on, they'd be complaining because it all drained down to their balls.
Yep.
Yeah, it never affected me when I'm sprayed. It's when I start to try to wash it out is when I go full on baby,
It burned like really bad when I got hit, but it didn't really bother me till I got to the first station and had to take somebody down.
Yeah.
Because then I start having to issue instructions and yell commands, and I ended up breathing it in, and it made my throat close. So I just let the guy go and stood up and stepped back, and they're like, "What are you doing? Get back in there!" And I was like, I need a minute.
Well, y'all heard about Handy Randy, right?
No.
How have you three never heard Handy Randy? Listen,
I swear I've heard you mention this name, but if you told a story, I forgot it.
Oh,
So we
I
should
remember
hear it again.
I remember Handy Randy.
I went to the academy with this guy. He had been fighting forever to be allowed in because he had a baby hand. And I guess through the Disability Act, somehow they were able to get him in there.
Wait, was this
Oh,
like,
you
like
have
basically
told
like
me this
Scary Movie
story.
2? Like
Yes.
Little,
Yeah.
Grab my strong hand.
Yeah. The first time I noticed it, I was in the second group. He was in the first group. We were running. And then when they were done, they were cheering us on. Yay. That fake bullshit motivation. And so I went to high five him. And I don't know if you ever tried to high five an adult and then a baby hand somehow got in between you two, but it freaked me the fuck out. Like, what the fuck was that? Because I didn't know at that point.
I mean,
But-
did you look at him and be like, I just respect you because I know you've been standing outside the fire?
No, he freaked out and he hit him with the OC.
No, I just kept running. I'm like, I don't know what that is. And anyway, so when we did the OC, he gets sprayed, and he is struggling throughout the whole thing. And the final thing is you have to talk a guy down. You have your gun drawn, you talk him to the ground, and you put him in handcuffs. Well, he gets him on the ground, and then He looks at his gun. He looks at his holster. He looks at his gun because he knows he can't put this guy in handcuffs, right? Because he only has one hand. So he throws his red gun behind him.
Oh no!
And everyone gets stopped.
What?
He threw it, Slender. He gets threw it to a safe place away from
That's not a safe place. You don't have positive control now.
And the instructor goes, "What the fuck did you just do?"
I just armed a bystander, sir.
Oh, it was the greatest thing I've ever seen, man. He failed the driving course because he couldn't hold the wheel right. Oh, he was a safety hazard whenever we shot. We were at the range because. Oh man.
Because
But
yeah,
yeah.
part of police training for shooting is hip fire, right? Like you gotta.
Well, yeah, there was different things we had to do, and he's just
Well,
blasting all of us
part of
with
the
his gun.
training is like regular shooting, but then you go to non-dominant hand fire.
which he couldn't do.
Yeah, probably not.
The street took my gun.
Vertical. That was good.
Oh man, yeah, he probably would have done better if he would have just shot him. He said, "Bang bang." Probably would have had a better grade, but yeah, handy Randy.
I mean,
said,
in
"I
that
smelled
particular
marijuana,
circumstance,
Captain."
no, in that particular circumstance, you could probably argue deadly force was authorized because he could not reasonably employ any of the other steps in the deadly force continuum.
True. Then sprinkle a little crack on him, and you're good to go.
So this guy's force continuum was verbal, all deadly force.
Yes, verbal, dead. Verbal and dead. Those were his options.
It's like I couldn't. Why didn't you go for your taser? It was where my little arm was. So.
Oh man.
Why didn't you go for your spray? That was on that side too. Look, got everything on one side of the belt.
Why wasn't your body cam on? That's on the side. I have to reach up with my little hand to turn the camera.
Couldn't
on.
push the button.
Oh, am I just picturing the guy from Scary Movie 2?
I mean,
This is like,
that was his hand, basically, bro.
oh no.
Whenever we did, unarmed combat, I'm good. I was a combative instructor in the army, so but whenever I'd go against him, you just take his one arm away, and he just pokes you with the other one. It's like stop, just poking him. Oh, anyway,
Oh, that's so sad.
what was the next topic?
Oh, did we see the rest of the trailer? I wasn't even
Yeah,
paying
yeah,
attention.
we did.
Oh, okay.
It
All right.
looks somehow it looks both generic and cool blood. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
It looks very by the numbers. I was a boy who was left for dead, but a magical lion gave me the powers
It
to.
looks by the numbers 90s is what it looks
Yeah.
like. This would be like the Phantom, a rated R.
which
Yeah,
may work.
I think there's potential there, but like I don't know. I don't know if you wanted to include the origin story in that trailer because it's pretty fucking thin.
Well, I'm gonna be honest though. At least they picked an actor who has charisma, which is
What
something
did
that-
they?
Yeah. Do you remember Bullet Train?
Yeah,
He
I like
he
Bullet
was
Train a
good
lot.
at- He
I
was
liked
good in
him.
that.
I liked him in Savages by Oliver Stone. I think that's
Oh
the
yeah,
best-
I forgot that he was in there with your boy
Taylor Kitsch.
Taylor Kitsch, where they were having good times with what's her name,
Liv Blakely.
Blake Lively,
Blake Lively.
That's Ryan
Mix that one
Reynolds'
up.
girl.
Mrs. Reynolds.
Yeah. I liked that movie a lot. I thought it was really good. In fact, I'm
Although
gonna put that on my
Zendaya
list
is
to
doing
watch.
her impression of that movie in the new trailer that they just dropped for her movie.
Oh, I haven't seen that trailer. I'm good. I don't really like her.
It's like Wimbledon, but like the hard, like angry R-rated version.
I don't know what Wimbledon is.
Wimbledon with Kirsten Dunst and Paul Bettany came out in the early 2000s comedy.
No, I didn't see it.
You didn't? It's good. It's funny.
Is it?
It is.
Based on what you just told me, I don't think so.
I'm gonna be honest. It is because there's a major storyline about him and his bro, the Jamie Lannister, the another tennis player.
Wait,
you'd
Jaime
like that
Lannister was a tennis player?
in this
Little
movie.
Chad, are
Oh,
you
the
trying to sell this
actor.
right now? Because
Yeah.
it's going over like a lost submarine.
Tina, have you seen Wimbledon?
No, I have not. I have heard of it though.
It's good. It is actually a good romantic comedy. It's good.
You lost me at romantic.
Yeah,
Anyway,
romance isn't supposed to be funny, Little Chad.
Speaking of
okay,
comedy-
I take that shit very serious.
You know
Speaking
what?
of comedy, I did see The Machine. I am unabashedly a huge fan of Bert Kreischer. I think I even have his book. I think he's such a good comedian.
How was the movie?
Man, I don't. So I'm gonna have to watch it again because I don't think we gave it a fair shot. They were testing our fire alarms in our building, so the girlfriend was barely listening, and then she fell asleep after those things stopped, and then we picked it up later on the next day. It had some really funny moments. I didn't like how they it's all centered on some chick, that Russian chick, you know what I mean? And they're kind of him and Mark Hamill are just along for the ride. I think Bert actually did really good for never not being an actor, never being in a movie before. You know what I mean? I thought he did okay.
I mean, is it better or worse than those Larry the Cable Guy movies that he?
Oh,
was in?
way better. Are you kidding?
So there you go. Then it's good. It's fine.
But I bought it just because, supporting Bert.
That sounds like what Slender does when he Dungeons and Dragons. He's like, I was like, oh, it's coming on digital next week on Paramount Plus. He's like, I'm gonna buy it today. I was like, it's coming out in 3 days, free for a service you already pay for. He's like, gotta support the team.
I mean, on my phone though, it's silent, so it just vibrates a little. It doesn't go crazy.
No, even if your phone's set to silent, the Amber Alert still makes that shit go off.
You can turn that off so you don't get the Amber Alerts.
Oh, can you?
Yep.
Good. I don't
There's
care
like
about
an
these kids.
asshole.
Well, way to
option on
not do your
phone?
part, Lil Chad. You're a sick fuck.
I take care of my child and make sure that he's taken care of. What am I going to do?
What if the Amber Alert is for your child and then you don't even hear
I
it?
think he would be aware about that.
pretty
Love
sure,
Actually. Yeah. I'm with you on Love Actually. That's a classic.
Well, if you like Love Actually, then you will like Wimbledon.
I doubt it.
I know you're pressing X for doubt, but it's a good movie.
But yeah, The Machine, I think is worth people checking out. Wait until I would wait, and I hate even saying this. Wait until it's down to like the $4 to rent or streaming. I wouldn't do the $24 thing that's right now, but
If
yeah,
it's not very good, it'll probably find its way to Netflix. So.
It's a Sony movie, so it'll be on Netflix September 23rd.
Are you sure?
Well, there you
Wait,
go.
you know that for real?
Yeah, I just looked it up.
Lil Chad pulling through, giving us actual valuable information.
New Sony movies come to Netflix 120 days after theater debuts, so that would put it at September 23rd.
Yeah, I was about to say the same thing, but he beat me to it.
If I had typed it in chat, you would have remembered it all on your own.
Yep. That's how
So
it works.
if I was Bert's wife, I'd be a little insulted that the actress that's playing his wife is not as attractive as she is. I mean, I'm
Who's
not
he
saying
married
that
to? Like,
his wife's name is Leanne Kreischer, but
Yeah, she's a
she's
nobody.
okay looking. Well, yeah, I know, but she's okay looking. But it's not like I think the actor that played her in the movie is less attractive.
I mean, is he playing himself in the movie?
Yes, but it's weird because there's also he's playing himself, but there's a alternate reality or history to it because in this he quits comedy, quits everything because he got his daughter arrested or in trouble or whatever because he was drunk and had her drive at 15 on a learner's permit and then live stream the whole thing. But so that's the where it goes away from his real life. If that makes sense.
Gotcha.
Okay.
But yeah, anyway,
I'm gonna be honest, Tina. I feel like it seems like the actress they got looks on par with his wife. I don't think there's.
Okay.
Lil Chad, Tina is an expert in matters like this. I would
I know
defer
that-
to her judgment.
I know that she wouldn't get, like, she's too old to get the thumbs up for the look from Mr. Bojan, but
Exactly.
Yeah, apparently the girlfriend had issues with Bert kissing the actress. She did not care for that.
like, was it the way he did it? Was it just?
I
that it
mean,
was playing?
I don't blame her. I wouldn't like that either. Like if my wife was an actress and she was kissing dudes, like, you know, Brad Pitt or something, I'd be like, no, you can't do that. I'll step in and do this scene for you.
But every actor or actress who's married is kissing someone else on, like, every movie you watch. There's
Exactly.
somebody.
Like I said, if the cash keeps rolling in, kiss whoever you want, babe. I'm fine.
Yeah. Oh,
I mean-
we're well aware of what
Oh,
you guys
okay.
got going on.
Not everybody's getting the Mel Gibson phone call because of what they're doing.
All right. So we talked about an additional thing that wasn't even on the list. What else was on the list? I don't know.
How'd you like
Secret Invasion?
Oh, that I watched it this morning. It was a
you
little
stay
slow.
awake?
Yeah, it was a little slow.
I'd say, Comics Division wasn't too happy with it, based on what I read.
It was better than most of what they put out, but that doesn't mean it's good necessarily.
I like how Matt's voice just went higher pitched. It was better than most of what they put out.
Yeah, it's never a good sign when you phrase it as a question.
Exactly.
It's like, I don't know the answer, so I'll ask.
Secret Invasion was in focus, so
It didn't make me want to shoot myself.
I mean, the CGI wasn't horrible. That's a plus.
I mean,
for
here's the thing:
recent
you never
MCU.
know with Sam Jackson because he'll do anything.
So Tina, you and Mads watched it, so I'm gonna ask if this is true. Did they come up with some bullshit story reason why shape-shifting aliens would be the same humans the entire episode?
Well, they weren't though. Some of them would switch. The bad guy switched 4 or 5 times in a single scene.
I feel like they did this better in season 3 of Picard.
But they did say at one point, which was weird. They did say, "Now stay in your not human form, but you know, you took it from somebody else as much as possible, so it makes it harder for humans to detect us and us as well. So apparently, the longer you stay in that form, the harder it is for other people to be like, wait a minute."
So
Like maybe the more perfect, maybe the more perfect it is. You know, you're not missing details or something.
Want the scrolls to go native so they blend in better.
Well, and I guess that they don't, when they do take the other form, they don't get the memories and all of their knowledge, because then they have to hold their fingers on their head and be like, you know, open your mind.
Oh,
Yeah,
they're doing
so I think it's
Quaid.
Yeah. I mean, because I guess it's just if you look like somebody, that's totally fine. But yeah, if they
And-
take you and they put you in, it's almost like a little stand-up chamber, and they attach you to some electrical things, and all of a sudden you touch their head, and
Yeah, you
now
gotta touch their head and shit.
And how are they explaining that they're not calling in the superheroes to help with this problem?
Oh, honey, they're busy.
Oh, well, yeah.
I feel like you call Doctor Strange to do a little magic, make the scrolls
He's
appear.
he's off with what's her face, getting their little singularity issues. Hulk is in Sakaar. Captain Marvel is off doing her thing.
But what about
and
She-Hulk? We know she's the better Hulk.
You know
very
what probably
true.
would have been a better angle to play is have them call one of the heroes, and then you find out that one of the heroes is one of them shapeshifters too.
I feel like that's coming.
Funny thing,
Well, there-
Slender, that's exactly how they did it in the comic book.
I was
The
going to say, yeah,
Skrulls
I know in the comic
spent
book,
years replacing the superheroes so that
Yeah.
they could have, they would be in place to take out the ones they needed to.
Yeah,
Because they already alluded
that's a
to
better
the fact-
story.
Yeah, they've already alluded to the fact that these the Skrulls have replaced certain corporate and political figures.
Well, what's weird though, I think what Nick Fury said was, no, this one I gotta do on my own. Okay. Guy can barely walk. But what I found weird was when the bad guy turned into Samuel L. Jackson to shoot down Homegirl from How I Met Your Mother, spoiler. I didn't know it when you transform that, one, you get all their clothes, just like what they had on when you saw them and decided to change into them, but you also get their gun?
That's
Yeah,
an
it's pretty
interesting thing.
convenient,
Like
huh?
you're making projectiles. Apparently, you can also create gunpowder. Did they shoot the gun?
Yeah, they shot
Yep.
How I Met Your Mother.
Maria
Yeah.
Hill,
Yeah, Maria Hill's supposedly dead.
Colby Smulders.
But is that really Maria Hill? Because supposedly Talos's wife is dead, but Talos's wife spent a whole lot of time as Maria Hill. So
Well, she's dead though, so
I feel like it's gonna be Colby Smulders / Maria Hill because I think Grace Randolph was bitching about her getting fridged online.
Well,
so
yeah, well that and
Yeah.
it at the end of the episode it said with special guest. They had her listed as a special guest in the episode, not a cast member.
yeah.
And also, I think when they die, they turn back into their Kroll self.
the scroll self.
Yeah, scrolls.
Oh, that's a good point.
Do they use scroll pronouns too?
Yeah.
Call, I want to be scroll and scroll self. I don't know. I saw.
Damn it, little Chad! You just created like the 4,768,472,743rd gender. Great job.
Well, I mean, I'm gonna be out like the one group that could probably argue about gender being a fluid spectrum would be shape-shifting aliens who could be boys or girls at any given time. But outside of that,
Doesn't matter. What do their chromosomes look like?
Yeah.
Also, by the way,
I look forward to the Matt Walsh "What is a Scroll" special.
by the way, I based on what I've seen from Khaleesi, I don't get what this argument is about her deserving as much as Samuel L. Jackson.
There's an argument thinking she needs to be paid more.
Yeah.
I mean, did anybody
Seriously?
watch Terminator Genesis and
Well,
see
no,
her
but
Sarah
even
Connor
that though,
performance?
she was the lead in that one. She's maybe fourth billing in this one.
She was the only person I've ever seen that made Jai Courtney look like a leading man. Of,
I like Jai Courtney.
Yeah, but he's a background dude. He's not.
I liked him in Spartacus.
So Khaleesi
as a background guy.
Khaleesi from Game of Thrones, right?
Amelia Clark.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah,
You know,
she's never done anything worthwhile other than that, and I didn't think she was that great in Game of
There
Thrones.
is
If I'm
the
honest.
Game of Thrones curse, right? You know, where all these people they just do failing project after failing project.
Wait, not
Yeah.
Jamie Lannister.
Name a
Nikolai
project he's been in.
Waldo.
He hasn't been in anything that succeeded. The one Tom Cruise movie that didn't make money in the last 10 years was Oblivion, and that was the one he was in.
He was barely in it.
He was the sniper. He was awesome in it, but
He had a great movie. Oh man, why am I forgetting what it's called? Where he has to go to prison, and he has to click up with the AB.
did it make money? No. You
Well, what
even
I'm saying,
remember
it
the
was a
name.
great movie. Actually, it's one of my
Yeah, I mean,
favorites.
they're solid in the, but he's been around. I mean, he was great going back to Black Hawk Down. We talked about that.
Yeah,
the
yeah,
other
he
day.
was in that too. Maybe if he didn't have such a hard fucking name to say, Shot Caller. That's the movie I'm thinking of. Yeah, he was really good in Shot Caller.
Oh yeah. What, Nikolai Coster-Waldau? You have a problem with that?
Yes.
He needs to change that to like Nick Cage.
Is it Nikolai though? It looks kind of like Nikolaj.
He was in Kingdom of Heaven.
Yes,
Oh
it
wait,
was.
so there's a chat that addresses why it's an issue that for Berg Reichner to be kissing an actress.
Here we go. At Little Chad, he is a comedian, not an actor. I believe it would be different for a trained actor who has had years or practice disassociating themselves from their character. That was not what I witnessed. So someone else is also obsessed with him kissing the
Someone
actress.
else is verbose and maybe shouldn't talk so much because that was a paragraph and
You know,
honestly
I
it
feel
felt
like
TLDR.
I feel like that's a Yeti alt account.
Seems like it. Seems like it.
What does Soul say? Let's see. You think? Oh, scrolling. The scrolls take offense as offensive language.
Ooh, what did you think about the racial slur? That's what it made me think about.
What
You mentioned
racial
scrolls.
slur?
The one that Nick Fury made, where he said, "I can say that, you can't say that."
Oh yeah, I'm like, no, that's not how that works. They've been, and I'm not gonna say it now because I don't know.
course
Maybe
not.
but it's a term that has been used for CIA agents for all of
Right.
CIA
It's another
history.
name for ghost.
Yeah.
Oh wait, he said that was a slur.
Yeah.
Well, he
Well,
made a
because
comment, and then the other person was surprised and said, "Oh, you can't say that." And he goes, "Oh,
yeah,
oh, I can say that. You can't say that."
yeah. I guess maybe because he wasn't in the CIA.
Is it because it's too spooky?
Kind. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Hmm.
And she was a white, she was a Caucasian female, and
Yep.
apparently
Well,
can't say that term.
it
Well,
didn't.
I mean, if she was a Caucasian male, you could say whatever the hell you wanted, right?
Who plays the good scroll? Whatever his name is.
Ben
Somebody
Mendelsohn.
Mendelsohn.
Yeah, yeah. He's one of the good ones. But then when Nick Fury says something about scroll, he's like, "Whoa, whoa, that's our word. You can't say that." And then he went up to another. "What's up, my scroll? Not my scroll."
Wow.
Oh, I was about to say, what would be like if we're dealing with actual military invasion type thing, our military guys will come up with a term of endearment for the Skrulls immediately. I'm just wondering what that would be.
Oh yeah, it was probably 3 or 4 alternates to it. Yeah.
I mean, no, it's
Not the lizard people. Something more
They'd
sophisticated than that?
probably, you know what?
greenies. They'd probably call them greenies or something.
They'd probably call them Harveys because they're two-faced.
Ooh.
Oh, that's a stretch.
Oh, that's a Navy one right there.
No, I think they'd call them Harveys.
Ooh, shifties. That's okay.
Ooh, that would be.
Yeah, let's all think of derogatory terms that we can come up with for scrolls.
Can we go on Twitter and try to make the hashtags trend?
Hashtag not my hashtag deport shifties. Are they a
build the wall, shifties be gone?
Well, as I have said before, aliens from outer space are still illegal.
yeah, these damn starbacks
The Skrulls are taking our jobs. They're
crossing coming across the milky way.
Call them milkbacks.
The Skrulls,
Starbacks.
those Korean Skrulls, they're not sending their best and brightest to the Earth.
That's not bad, yeah. Milkbacks. Oh, that sounds pornographic. I think starbacks. Yes. What is it? Yes, it is a Yeti alt account. What is up, my bros? So, what is going on with show from Oh yeah, I love Flash, and I have 2 buttholes.
That is. I mean, that's carnal knowledge, right? That has to be a Yeti alt account,
Right? That
sure.
is such a Yeti thing to say.
Exactly.
And
By the way,
he won't shut up about From lately, so that's pretty on point as well.
I swear to Christ.
I can't believe he recommended that show to everybody.
I mean,
What is
to
From?
all of us.
I've never heard of it.
It's a show that Yeti has been just going on about for 2 years.
That's something
now.
I bothered watching after he drugged me into watching Last of Us. I was like, I'm not watching stuff with Yeti.
I was
for a
on board
while.
with the first season, was I recommended, but then he recommended the second season, and I've been. It's one of those shows like Lost. Every
It's
time
mystery
you think,
box TV.
yeah, every time you think you're going to get an answer, they give you 37 more questions, and you're like, what?
It's like
How
what
are
did
they changing?
It's like every answer is like a fucking Russian nesting doll where it
You
just
have
opens up
somehow
to the next.
answered my question and made the overall plot more convoluted.
Yeah, it's they completely changed how the world works without ever addressing how it used to work.
It's like they're having, you remember in The Matrix Reloaded when Neo gets to speak to the architect,
Mm-hmm.
and he's just spouting off gibberish college
Colonel
words.
Sanders?
That's
when he's talking to
it's,
Colonel Sanders, right?
Ergo, therefore.
Yeah, that
But,
was Colonel Sanders. He made good chicken.
Brahma did have a good idea. He thinks that the dude that showed up and had the dream and almost drowned in his dream when he was there. You know what I'm talking about? The black kid? Chad?
And From?
Yes.
I didn't watch this. It's not free yet on Amazon, so I'm not subscribing
God.
for. After you got, I was thinking about it, but by like the 3rd or 4th episode in, when you were like, "This better get good, Yeti," I was like, "I think I'll wait to put money down on this one."
So what is MGM Plus? I've never heard of that.
It
It's,
used to be
Lionsgate.
no,
or-
it used to
I don't
be
know.
Flicks. No, Flex. No, what?
Oh,
it was- you said-
Stars. Was it Stars?
No, it had a different name.
Epic? Was it? No.
Epic. Yeah, it was Epic.
Here's how I knew I didn't want to see it. Every single week for like the past month, Yeti jumps in our little chat and he goes, "Oh, did you guys see From? It's so crazy." And I'm like, "Yeah, what happened?" And he's like, "Oh, it's just crazy." So
Maybe
there's
it's
no
Earl.
logical like through line to any of what's going on, and there are no answers being given.
All right.
Just more questions.
Not my thing. No,
And what bothers
like
me
to
the
know what
most-
hell's going on.
Is well, a lot of this would be solved if people would just sit down and be like, "Here's everything I know."
So there's an old it's a like a creative writing thing that I remember. It was because I don't do a lot of creative writing, but I took a class in it in college, and the professor gave me one thing that stuck in my head, which is if you have a conflict that can be resolved in 2 minutes of a conversation between two people, you don't actually have a conflict.
Exactly. Yeah.
And
Gotcha.
there's like it seems like all these shows are just coming up with ways to keep people from having a 2-minute conversation that would clear everything up.
Oh, yeah, it's like, I really need to tell you. Remember Mega Lightning when he was like, "I got to tell you something." "Oh, what is it?" And he gets hit by lightning.
Yeah.
Well,
At least
and
that
if
was
I
never
remember
known.
well,
correctly,
Mega
Matt,
Lightning is a real threat.
if I remember correctly, Matt, you said that it broke one of the cardinal sins that pisses you off, and after you described it, it also pisses me off. But somebody had pertinent information, and for some reason, never felt the need to tell anyone else what the fuck they knew.
Yeah. That happens
hate
all the
that.
time.
I
And
hate
then-
that shit.
Dude, you had one character be convinced by a new character that he has not seen any proof that these monsters are real or whatever. And he's like, "Have you ever seen one kill somebody?" No. "Yeah, exactly. And then the bodies are gone." Motherfucker, they have had funerals for multiple people who were murdered. They
It was
murdered.
like when they did Rings of Power, and fucking she finds out that this dude is Sauron. Then she goes back to the people who are making the rings, and they're like, "Well, where'd he go?" And she's like, "I'm no longer treating with him." No, bitch, you tell him, "I found out that dude's Sauron. You know, the one we've been looking for the last 1,000 years. We should probably, maybe not let him leave the city and go fucking hang him or something." But no,
Every
she's
time
just, "I
that
no longer
happens,
treat with him."
I just remember Austin Powers with with Green going like, "Let's just shoot him now. I'll go get my gun. We'll shoot him.
Yeah.
I
It'll
have a
be
gun
done."
in my room. I'll go upstairs. I'll get it, bring it back down here. Bam, bam. Done. We could do
Done.
it together. Be like a father-son bonding thing.
You just
So
don't get it.
Zax is right about this. This one dude who they are trying to tell us was a straight man is screaming his head off, and this is so horrible. And then that couple, they need to get got. She was fine until her lesbian lover showed up.
Is that a double entendre when he's saying it eats up screen time?
Oh god.
Oh.
Beats up something.
Yeah. Yeah, everybody's heard this music, but nobody wants to say that they've heard this music. Comically bad. This is the dude I was talking about. Yeah, I'm pretty sure he was. Yeah. As Slender, the bartender was the best character in From.
I mean, as I've said, I haven't watched it, so I wouldn't know. Is he the one who actually, is paying attention and knows some shit?
No, he's
'Cause,
kind of like, well, this is it. Let's drink moonshine.
What about
It
the
was-
wise janitor? Did they have a wise janitor who can impart wisdom?
What's weird though is that when it first started, they're like, "Oh yeah, when in season 1, they're like, "No, all this food just shows up every day out of nowhere." But now they're like, "Oh, we don't have any food. We got to start rationing." What happened to the magical food shit? Why is it nothing? You're not gonna explain it, but now it's gone. So fuck it.
Well, Matt, you might not understand this because you didn't play Diablo 1 or 2, but sometimes you need mana potions. Otherwise, once you run out of mana, you can't make any more food. So they just got to go find the potions.
There you go.
Well, I mean, one of the things in it is if you have this rock that hangs in your house, then they can't come in. And how they got those was because the sheriff happened to cross them. He was in a hole and they were hanging up.
What the fuck is going on with this? Just the way you describe it baffles me.
It sounds like someone watched that M. Night Shyamalan movie, The Village, and was like, let's take all the worst parts of that and just make it a show.
Well, it doesn't surprise me that this show's made by the same guys who
There's so many things that have just been forgotten. At the end of the first season, the sheriff and Cuckoo Banana Girl, they're going out to see what they can find or whatever. And they're in a tent, and something pushes that tent all the way back to town. That shit is not brought up again. It's as if it never fucking happened.
This show.
It was as if they're being hit by a train. There was a blinding light and what sounded like a train, and then the tent just, top over. I'm just rolled all the way back to the town.
So is this a lot like Under the Dome or whatever that show is?
Yeah.
It wasn't even an alien abduction.
Who the fuck knows? They haven't told us anything. In the spiders,
we could bring them on board and probe them, but let's just set them down next to town and see how fucked up they are when they realize they've moved.
No, the thing is, you're driving and you're like, oh, let's take this exit. And then you see a tree that is down in crows. And then you drive and you hit the town and then you keep driving, but it keeps going in a circle. So now you're in a loop and there's no way out of there by car.
Okay.
And that's how
like
you get
Silent
stuck
Hill.
there. Yeah, kind of.
That Silent Hill movie, the first one they did, was actually way better than you had any right to be. So,
they can't come in your house unless you let them in. Last season, one dude got tricked because he was a fucking incel, and one of the monsters tricked him that she was going to give him a blowjob if he opens the window. Guess what? No blowjob.
So they're like vampires.
Kinda, yeah. But they're like mole people too. And they know where they sleep because they found the tunnels last time. There ain't nobody telling anybody about it. They're keeping it to 2 or 3 people who know. Burn that motherfucker down,
I was going to say, if you know where they sleep, get the gasoline, get the matches. You can handle this problem very quickly.
It sounds like they're... did you ever read or watch Salem's Lot? The Stephen King story where the vampires start terrorizing the town.
Wait, which one?
Mm-hmm.
Salem's Lot.
Nuh-uh.
I think Jerusalem's Lot was the original title, and it changed on subsequent
Victor
publications.
knows everything.
And Boyd is now lying about everything because I shit you not, no one would believe me.
Yes.
They're in a pocket loop with vampires and magic food.
Yep.
But Boyd says no one would believe him about the spiders and giant monsters and lights.
Oh, don't even get me started with Boyd being infected by this guy he found hanging, like being chained up to a wall, and he's like, my blood is your blood, and he had this shit crawling in him. So he goes, these monsters are undefeatable, like they're indestructible, but he cuts the monster's neck and nothing, but then he cuts his hand and he transfers the blood, the shit that was in his blood into the monster, which killed the monster. And then they tried to use the monster has no blood, nothing inside, is completely drained, but it has bowel, so he's dipping his bullets in it. Guess what? That didn't work. It's fucking bananas. Blood worms, and no one believes him. Yeah. And the one person who knows what's happening is a fucking Vitata.
So it sounds like there's a lot of crazy shit happening.
And no answers.
And the one thing that they forgot to include in the crazy shit happening was a continuity of any kind.
Well, they started with it. You can't go out at night. You have to have these stones in your house.
Part of the continuity would be, okay, these people have seen some shit, so they're a little more likely to believe some shit.
Yeah, and the other vampires just let him do it. Yeah. While his son was dying inside. Yeah, I mean, there's just an abundance of what the fuck is happening and zero, this is why. Zero reasoning for any of it happening. No, this is by the Russo brothers, actually. It was a Russo brother thing.
I mean, maybe all their focus was on Extraction.
Sounds really random. Well, I mean, I am talking about it out of order, but it's not much better in order. Don't forget the flesh-eating cicadas. Yeah, that you can get killed in your dream now, bro. Now you can get killed. So
Wait,
you
they
can't
got
go
a Freddy
outside.
Krueger?
You can't go outside at night. You can't fall asleep. You can't dream. It's insane. I forgot about that. Yeah, because now you can die in your dream.
But if they pull the monsters out of their dream to fight them in the real world?
No, well, no, because they kind of did. Because now there's cicadas in the real world too, but they're not because sometimes the person will see them. Yeah, cicadas.
Cicadas.
Wait, so is it like the Jeepers Creepers monster, where it's like a giant cicada?
So what they need to do is they need to develop a pharmaceutical that keeps them from sleeping.
Right. Yeah.
They've already developed that for Freddy Krueger, so they should be fine.
They
Well, now
actually
you don't even have to be
It's-
asleep, though.
It's called meth.
But here's the deal: you don't even have to be asleep. Oh, stop spoiling it, motherfucker! What have we've been talking about all of it?
You can't
Didn't the
spoil what's already rotten.
Is it
okay.
The season's over, right?
No, there's one more episode, and there is not, unless this is going to be a 4-hour episode. There is not enough time for them to explain a third of what is happening.
You know what there isn't enough time for, Matt?
What?
A cliffhanger. You know that's gonna happen, right? They're
Of
gonna
course,
tease
every
season
fucking
and
episode
answer
is a
fuck all.
every episode is a fucking cliffhanger. Oh, I thought it started 8. Good, I got a little bit more time. Anyway, all right. Well, Scott's not here. I didn't know I was gonna be here. I've ran out of things to talk about, so we can start wrapping it up. Unless people have questions from the chat. Nope.
Oh yeah, that makes sense. I'm gonna go play some Diablo.
How dare
What are you gonna do, Matt? Oh, you're not gonna play Diablo, are you?
No, I'm gonna play Diablo until Zach's show starts. Cause I'm gonna be over there.
Ah.
Wait until the whole season is done to finish it.
Why? I mean, if something's been shitty for 7 out of 8 episodes.
More than that. I mean, you had a whole first season. There's more questions, but it was good though. But this whole time I'm like, all right, man, if they keep giving us questions and no answers, they're gonna lose me. And sure as shit, all they have done is given me.
So did Yeti watch the first season and really like it?
He liked it from the very first episode.
I think what it is, I've fallen victim to this before too.
Sunk cost fallacy.
It was something he really liked, and even though it's shit now, you just keep convincing yourself that you like it because you liked it.
Like the X-Files and Twin Peaks.
What did it for me actually was when MTV made the Sword of Shannara.
Oh no,
Wait,
you
what?
actually said you liked it.
I kept trying to convince myself I did the whole season, and then once the first season was over, I was like, okay, I gotta be honest. It's shit. It's total shit.
That
They
one
have
in
ruined Terry Brooks's story.
Slender was going through the stages of grief.
I really was.
He's in denial. He's bargaining like, oh, maybe the first season is just a warm up and it's gonna get better.
Yes.
Yep. Mr. Bojan felt the same way with both that and Lord of the Rings. He's like, no, that's not how it's supposed to be. No. I was like, honey, stop yelling at the TV. But seriously, this is not supposed to.
And that was about the Peter Jackson ones. No.
I mean, the Peter Jackson ones were good. I know a lot of people didn't like that they got rid of Tom Bombadil, but
God, they hated that. Yeah.
it's the easiest thing to cut. It really was.
He serves no purpose for the narrative.
Who?
Tom Bombadil.
I don't know who that is.
He's basically like God.
For what?
Yeah. For the Lord of the Rings story.
Yeah.
Wait, the Amazon one?
No.
No, the
real
actual
one.
genuine like.
Oh. Yeah, I didn't read that nerd shit.
Of course you didn't.
Matt is like, reading is for no.
No, I read. I just don't
Reading for
read
losers.
fiction. Yeah.
Fiction is wonderful.
Well, yeah, I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm not like, no, fiction sucks. I'm just saying I don't read it. The last fiction book I read was Starship Troopers. And that was because I
it's
found
not
it when I was in reception before I went to basic. I happened to find it. I read
Well,
it.
Mad, when I publish my next book, I'm gonna make you at least buy it, and then you can lie to me and say that you read it.
Well, yeah, I bought all kinds of shit from people on here that I haven't read.
Mad supports his bros. He just doesn't actually read their work.
No.
Two different
Wait,
things.
Mad, what if I put you in the story?
Now we're talking. Yeah, Justified's coming back too. It doesn't. I was worried it was going to be the, him training up his daughter to take over for him.
It wouldn't be his daughter. It would be a female of color.
Okay, fine, but they didn't go that route, man. It has the dude in it who's playing the bad guy is, I think he was the bad guy in Logan. Maybe, who knows? But Justified was one of. I think it has one of the greatest pilots I've ever seen of any show. The pilot for Justified is so fucking crisp. It's so fucking tight and juicy.
Did you call it juicy?
No, I'm not gonna be reading that. I wish Deputy Kennedy on From would stop simping for his dead dad. That, and I'm just glad that he no longer wears his high-watering pants. Even if you are in this nightmare scenario, find some better pants.
Oh, he's wearing waders?
No, his pants are just too high.
Oh, he's wearing floods.
Dude, if I'm going out, I want to look as badass as possible.
Right?
When I do. Like, that just seems like rule.
Oh, I didn't even mention that the one chick is pregnant who apparently couldn't get pregnant, and now that they're in this place, she's fucking pregnant.
Ooh,
that doesn't
It's
make
a monster
sense.
baby. It's always a monster baby.
A Justified show or CD. Hey, man, Mr. JT legit's been making grown folk music way before people gave him credit. You know what I mean? That Sex, Love, and Robot, I forgot what the album was called. It's a good fucking album, man. Yeah, anyway, I'm just saying he's been making grown folk music for a minute.
Is he still married to what's her name?
Who the fuck knows? I don't know.
Tina. Is he still married to the girl from Seventh Heaven?
Seventh Heaven.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, I think they've been over for a minute.
Pretty sure they're still married.
Yo, hold on. Speaking of this dude, this deputy, right? He's like, just go ahead. If you look in the top drawer of the desk there's a gun. Just go ahead and do it. You know what I mean? And he walks out. He comes back in. The bit's got the gun out. And he's like, what are you doing? Why are you doing this? Like, what, motherfucker?
They're still married. They got married in 2012. No divorce
You told
yet.
him. You told him. You told her where the gun is. And now you walk in. You're all fucking surprised that she's going to kill herself. Get the fuck out of here. Whatever. This show is frustrating. I hate Yeti.
Are those two independent statements?
Damn. That escalated quickly.
The show is frustrating, period.
I hate
Space. I hate Yeti.
Well, because he's the one that encouraged everybody to watch. He said, I won't be your friend unless you let me watch. Kidding to read the script.
Good thing I've never been his friend.
Yeah, you and Yeti have a very hate relationship.
Who?
Slender. And
Yeah, me too, Zach. So I'm already this far in, and there's one episode left. Might as well see it through.
Now here's the thing: if they do a season 3, are you going to still watch it just because you've watched 2 seasons?
Of course I am, Chad.
You got to know when to fold them, gambler.
Know when to walk away. Know when to run.
All right. Anybody got anything else before we bounce?
I do not think so. And a third season is in development for From.
God dang it.
You're going to end up watching all of it.
Yeah, I know.
Sad.
What sucks, though, is shows like that keep going, but shows like Carnival, which was amazing.
And then they speed ran the second season because they knew they were getting canceled.
And they didn't even get close to where they were wanting to go.
I know. The first season was so great.
Oh, Carnival, man. If you haven't done yourself a favor and want to be disappointed when there's no more show, check out Carnival on HBO.
And that, and the way and casting Clancy Brown. Clancy Brown is such a great villain. He's got just the voice. I'm gonna
Yeah.
It's like, how did
But
you
what's
not
great
know
is
he was gonna be the villain?
Yeah, the whole time he thinks he's the savior.
Yep, and it's really cool. I like that show a lot. I thought there was a lot going on. The first season was great, and Carnival and Rome basically came out and and they were both
Yes.
only got 2 seasons, and they both speed ran their second season to try to get to a resolution so people could be satisfied, and I appreciate that because at least they didn't just end on a cliffhanger that meant like killed any
Yep.
But it's still terrible. Like Rome is another show that everybody should watch. That one was fantastic.
Yeah.
The
Agreed.
biggest issue with it was because of the restraints of the budget, because they were like, we're going to this huge battle. And then the next scene, it fade to black. Man, that was a battle.
Yeah, exactly. That was like, where are we saving money fighting armies? It's like, and we'll just have that. What are we gonna do? We're gonna have, we're gonna have Brutus in the tent complaining about how they lost the giant battle. Oh, won't people be disappointed? Oh, they see battles all the time. They're here for the drama. I did love the. You remember the public announcer who was like brought
Yeah.
to you like. This is brought to you by the Bankers Association. You like get your Roman bread for true Romans. He was the guy who played Baron Harkonnen in the low budget sci-fi channel Dune. He was pretty good.
Well, that's going to do it for us here. Unless anybody has anything else.
Can't think of anything.
Alrighty.
Nope.
Matt is the Mad King. Reigning as the Mad King.
I'll be ranking hamburgers this weekend with
What?
the Devil Made Me Do It and a couple of other guys from Legion of Memers. So check out
Ranking
on
hamburgers.
yes, ranking fast food hamburgers. There's a new show called Get Ranked that Devil Made
in
Me Do
Tina, in
It.
America, we eat cheeseburgers. We put cheese on those things.
Yeah.
We don't.
Well,
Hamburgers.
he said the episode's called fast food hamburger ranking. So
Wait, but-
I'm not gonna argue.
doesn't
I put
the-
cheese on mine too, but
Are they going to be plain? Because having lettuce and tomatoes can radically change.
you know what? The rules I was told is that the fast food joint had to be multi-state locations and had to have over 200 franchisees. So
Well, this will actually test your credentials,
mhm.
Tina. But you already know that the best burger is going to be from Steak and Shake, right?
No, that's like a D-level burger.
What
Oh,
burger is king?
You failed.
But this is
Failed
true,
me.
Zax. I'll be on there with him. We'll be talking about Extraction versus John Wick. Not gonna spoil what I think is better. John Wick was so fucking long.
I've heard really good things about Extraction too.
Extraction's legit, bro. The first and second one are good. Even if he does hide behind a ladder so he doesn't get shot.
That's
Doesn't
solid
seem like
cover.
It's got like giant holes between the slots, right? This wasn't some magic ladder.
You're a
that
slot.
actually-
Bye, everybody.